Namaste to all. In this audio, again, we will see some interesting question and answers from the website vedmandir.com. Answers have been given by my Acharya, Swami Ram Swarup Yogacharya, and the questions have been asked by common public. Even today also, if you can go to the website, you can read hundreds and thousands of question answers. The first question is from a lady basically. I would like to live a sannyas in life. How could I? I don't have any sorrow or problem in life, but I don't want to get married. Please help me regarding my decision. Now my Acharya answers, to be a sannyasini really is a very hard task. I am 67 years old sannyasi and I have a bitter experience of the world. Today my Acharya is 82 years. This was written 15 years back. In my opinion, to be a sannyasi or a sannyasini is quite impossible because to control the 5 senses, 5 perceptions and mind is very hard. While discharging the moral duties towards family, society, nation and human beings, when anyone becomes ascetic according to Yoga Sutra 1 by 15 and 16, then only one will be able to be a true sannyasi or a sannyasini. Nowadays neither Vedas nor Yoga Shastra are being studied and obeyed. Then why to create a drama of a sannyasi or a sannyasini? I feel that mostly the saints, sannyasi etc. are professional and they lack the knowledge of Vedas and Ashtanga Yoga. They mostly preach the people to be away from money, away from assets and illusion, but are seen gathering a lot of money and enjoying. So I would like to advise you, my daughter, to marry and discharge all your duties first. However, you must study Vedas and learn Yoga Asana, Pranayam and meditation carefully. I can send my some important books on Vedas, worship and preach which are really beneficial to you. The books are in Hindi and English language. No matter of money. If you are capable, you can send the price as you wish. Otherwise, it is not required. I shall be happy if you study the books. Books can be sent on the receipt of your address. My blessings to you. What a beautiful answer by my Acharya. Next question. Can you please explain what is Rag and Dvesh? My Acharya answers, as stated in Yoga Shastra Sutra 2 by 7, if a person has experienced merriment through the senses, then attachment for the same is originated in the mind to experience the same merriment again and again. The situation to experience the said merriment again and again is called as Rag. The person who has experienced the merriment keeps the same in the mind, that is, remembers the same, and then tries his level best to obtain the means which will give him the merriment. Therefore, the desire to get the means, which is also called greed, is Rag, which is distress and suffering, and the said Rag disturbs the daily worship of the aspirant and also does not allow him to remain a happy person. Again, after experiencing sorrows, Dvesh is generated in the mind. When such person remembers the said sorrow, then he becomes angry over the means which generated the sorrow. It is also a klesha. For example, a person has experienced the sorrows from another person, and whenever the other person comes before him, he becomes angry and hates him. This is called as dvesha. Next question, somebody has asked about sannyasi or saints. My Acharya has given a beautiful reply. First point, those who lack eternal knowledge mentioned in the Vedas and are indulged in illusion etc., but introduce themselves as learned sannyasi or saints, they always bear unlimited sorrows as mentioned in Mundaka Upanishad Shloka 2 by 8 and 9. And next point, those who have not realized Almighty God but are ascetic, these sannyasis must go to the learned sannyasi who has realized Almighty God and to serve him and to take Vedic knowledge to realize Almighty God. This is mentioned in Mundaka Upanishad Shloka 2 by 12. Next point, if sannyasi or saint is not ascetic, then he will spread poison to the public. Next point, a sannyasi is never attached with his family, his son, etc. Also, he is always away from attachment towards any assets. Next point, a sannyasi does not favor anyone but speaks the truth always according to the Vedas. He is always benevolent, he is always kind and he is always beneficent. He has controlled anger even when the opposition abuses him. He cuts his hairs, he cuts his nails and beard and mustaches. Manusmriti also gives the same advice. A sannyasi daily does the study of Vedas and practice Ashtanga Yoga. Vedas as well as Manusmriti say that a sannyasi has to discharge duties according to the Vedas. So this is in short written about sannyasi by my Acharya. Swamiji, what is your opinion about the flood of gurus in today's world? My Acharya answers, he is narrating a true incident. My Acharya replies, when I was doing hard practice of Ashtanga Yoga in dense caves along with my Guruji, an incident occurred. By some reason, I was asked by my Guruji to go to a Baba in the jungle to give him Bhiksha. When first day I went there, the young Baba met me with a gun. I respectfully questioned the Baba that why was he having a gun being a sannyasi. He answered that there were 5 or 6 guava trees on which some monkeys came. So this gun is meant for instilling fear and to drive away the monkeys. I returned back to my cave and told the story to my respected Guruji. My Guruji answered that whole of the day the Baba guarded the trees, and when he would sit for meditation or remember the holy name of Almighty God, then it is sure that in his meditation the picture of monkeys would be coming. If this is the matter of some guava trees alone which disturbs the concentration, then what to talk about those who have so many ashrams built all over the country, even outside the country as well. So what I can say is the spiritualism nowadays has become a business. Nowadays there is a flood of gurus who are totally against the Vedas, and this is not only danger to the nation and the world but to the entire mankind. What a beautiful answer given by my Acharya. Next question. Swamiji, how should a student study? Thanks for offering to send the books for free. My Acharya replies, this is not an offer please, I obey Vedas. You see, according to Vedas, the ancient Rishi Munis in their Gurukul or in their ashrams used to look after the disciples and students by all means. Rishi Munis never took a single penny from the students. I have always made up my mind not to take donation, rupee, anything from the students, and in addition from widows and those who are not earning a hand. I always try to feed them because a student will not spend money from his pocket but will spend parents' money. Actually, as a student, more and more time must always be devoted in studies. It is a moral duty of a student. Whatever you learn must always be written on a rough copy by heart. Otherwise, mere learning will not serve the purpose. A student must take pleasure and happiness in his studies. Study must never be weightage for a student. In Sanskrit, Vidyarthi means Vidya plus Artha. Again, Vidya means study and Artha means motto. So, Vidyarthi means whose motto is only study hard. One should work hard and the result must be based in the hand of Almighty God, and therefore must never be nervous in results. What a beautiful reply by my Acharya and a great advice to all the students. I hope you will educate your students, or if you are a student, you will try to follow this. Next question. Swamiji, can you please in short tell about Ishavasya Upanishad and Ken Upanishad? My Acharya answers, the first word of the first shloka of the Upanishad is Ishavasyam, and based on it, the name of the Upanishad is called Ishavasya Upanishad. It comprises of almost the entire last, that is the 40th chapter of Yajurveda. The Upanishad inspires to do hard working continuously and tells that God is everywhere and is watching us every time. So we must be afraid of Almighty God and always do pious deeds according to the Vedas. Otherwise, God punishes the sinners and wrongdoers. So everybody must do the pious deeds and utilize the worldly matters, being duly detached from them. It also gives the knowledge of Vidya and Avidya, that is wisdom and illusion, individualism and collectivism. Ken Upanishad, the writer is Ken Rishi. It gives knowledge of senses, perceptions and mind. Upanishad warns an individual to strive to know the Almighty God in his present life, otherwise he shall be admonished to self-destruction. Wise persons attain salvation. It reveals the story of Yaksha and says the base of spiritualism as Tapasya, that is austerity, Dhamma, that is control of senses, and Karma, pious deeds. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the answers given by my Acharya. I request you to listen it again, as well as if you like it, request you to spread to other people. I have created a tab in my playlist as question and answers, and this video and other videos are there. You can anytime go to my channel and retrieve it. I will see you soon in another video. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.